more.
Plus, we're checking in live with Heather Lake. Heather, good morning.
Hi, good morning. We're live in Kearney Mesa. We're learning to fly this morning, and get this, it's all going to happen inside this building. We'll explain coming up, but first, we're going to check in with Brad Wills.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, North Park. Time now to check in with Heather Lake. She is live in Kearney Mesa, so she's right around the corner this morning. She walked here.
You walked to your office today. She's showing us a one-of-a-kind, I'm so excited about this, drone testing facility. What is this? How unique?
You're both gonna love this because first of all, take a look. It's like we're learning to fly indoors. The place is called the Hornet's Nest. So come inside with me to take a look. Basically, any kind of drone that you wanted to test inside before taking it outside, you could do right in here. I have these two lovely gentlemen to help me explain everything that's going on in here, you guys. Rod, Jim, thanks so much for joining me. We've got a cool drone behind us. But first things first. Okay, so it's called ENVI Hornet's Nest. It's all at Coleman University, but it's not a class. So is it just a place for people to come and play?
Yes, it's more of a community initiative or an community asset, where people from the community can come and work on projects with our students, teaching them a lot of valuable things to get a job.
And you don't necessarily have to be a student. You could just be anyone around town that wants to learn how to fly a drone, learn how to work on robots, and you can just stop in.
That's right. You can come in on Saturdays is when we meet. Visitors are welcome at 11 o'clock. Come any Saturday. Check us out.
All right, so totally extracurricular, and we're not just working on drones in here. We're working on robots. You guys are working on a crazy robot right here. So, Jim, explain what this is going to do when it's all said and done.
Sure. So there's a competition called Mars City Design, and it's real popular these days to think about colonizing Mars. So we're helping with a robotic, they call it Robot Friends category, where automation may help early colonists in finding minerals and water and processing things that would be dangerous for people to do. We're building a fairly large robot to do those kind of things in the early days of Mars exploration.
Wow. That's some neat stuff. You're even working on electric vehicles in here as well?
Yes, we've done some conversions. We have a 500 horsepower electric sports car that will be started up here in about 2 months.
Wow.
So all sorts of ways to learn how to practically apply some of these great new technologies.
See, you guys are the people I'm glad to have these minds around so I don't have to think about it. It's wonderful. Okay, so this facility, this is the actual Hornet's Nest right inside. Can we see that drone one more time flying up in the air? This drone looks like something out of Star Wars, and I know there's so many different varieties that we're going to see this morning. The FAA has extremely crazy rules over flying drones, so this is kind of the place where you can test it before going out in the skies, maybe ruining your $3,000 drone, that kind of thing.
It is. It's a safe environment. We have an FAA trained instructor, Rob Gabala, who's going to fly for you. We observe safety rules. We get you clued in as to how to be a good citizen with your drone. And with so many in the air now, it's important that we all sort of learn and follow the rules so that we can have a safe environment. So we can help this this whole new area of commerce grow.
And he's flying it with an iPad, and then he's also got these joysticks. So I know there's a couple of different ways, and we're going to learn how to fly a couple of drones this morning, which will be really interesting. He's having some fun with it. Is this hard to learn how to?
It's not hard, but, you know, like anything else, you want to minimize the cost of your mistakes. So when you come in here and get advice, you can really do that.
So before we go back to the studio, can you show, you've got all the drones over here. My friend Dan, he said, I'm going to use this one because it's probably the least expensive one and has bumpers, so I can't break it. All right? And then look at this little guy. This is like the world's smallest drone. Kevin, back at the studio, is kind of our resident drone flying instructor guy. What do you want to call him? Pilot, I guess? And so we are learning what he already knows how to do, which is really cool. Kevin, wish me luck. Hopefully I don't break anything. We are inside the Hornet's Nest. Seems like a safe place.
Well, I was waiting for Kevin to respond.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Kevin because he's like an expert with the drone.
Loves the drone.
And
He did in my ear.
Oh, he did. Well, I didn't help us. Though.
You guys couldn't hear. Sorry.
Oh.
He said good luck.
Oh, he said good luck? Okay, well, I want to do that.
Yeah, they're so
A lot.
tiny.
I know.
That one was so tiny.
Very good.
You know, I imagine the world one day where they're everywhere. Right? Don't you think that's going to happen soon? Everywhere you go,
now.
they're just like little zzz, like
They're here now.
Stop.
Look around you.
Are they?
No. Thank you, Heather.
From some of the smallest drones to the larger and more expensive ones, we're going to show you a brand new testing facility all in Kearney Mesa. That's coming up on Fox 5.
Let's check in now with Heather Lake. She is learning how to fly at a new indoor drone testing facility right around the corner here in Kearney Mesa.
So you might have a drone at home, or you're into the technology and you're trying to figure out a place where you can test it all. Well, now there's an indoor facility right here at Coleman University in Kearney Mesa. It's called the Hornet's Nest. Everything from the smallest drones to even these bad boys in here. So some of the drones that we've been showing you are up to $3,000. Some of them $300. And you might not be as worried about ruining those, right? This technology is really crazy. And the people we have to talk about it are the guys with the big brains here. Okay, so Dr. Jim, you have invented this space, and it's basically for everyone to connect that's not only into this kind of technology, but they want to come up with new stuff. They've got all these tools, they're engineers, that's how their minds work, and they can create robots, everything to electronic vehicles. We've got some of the robots behind us even that are being created here.
We do, and it's part of the concept of a 3D resume. If you think about it, and you're in an interview and you're showing the things you built, and they're talking about anything else, well, then you're in the wrong space, right? Because your work should stand for what you know about best.
Yeah, the Hornet's Nest. These are students at Coleman University that want to come in here and they want to either test drones or they want to build something new. They're working on finding a new job, cybersecurity, all different kinds of stuff. What do you use this space for?
Well, it's open to the public under certain conditions. We invite people with great ideas who wouldn't normally have access to large laboratories, or maybe the kind of people that wouldn't want to spend 4 years getting ready to learn something when they can come right now with good ideas and test it out.
Yeah.
Use our equipment, have fun with us.
Why do we need to test drones indoors? Why can't, I mean, we have so many beautiful parks and places in San Diego, and if you guys want to keep testing those out, I love watching to see how they fly, because I know it's not, I've tried, it's not the easiest thing to do, but why do we need something like this?
Well, I think that there are plenty of people that would need a little etiquette, a little training, some safety, and just kind of learn that they're part of a larger community of people. If you're going to go out in the public, and some people are going to do it, just know what is and isn't a good idea first, and doing it in a safe environment like this helps them learn.
Yeah, and it also helps them create new inventions. We were saying that they're not just worried about maybe flying the drone, they're worried about creating a job with the drone, right? So, Rod, you were saying that the folks at Coleman University are coming in here and they're like, well, Amazon can deliver stuff. Can I test out what my drone does?
Yes, we understand there's about 200 companies in San Diego that have new ideas for drones. So we welcome them to come test and learn from our FAA certified drone pilots and actually work inside here and test out their sensors, test out their new applications for industry.
Okay, sounds like a plan. You don't have to be a student to come into the Hornet's Nest. Go to fox5sandiego.com. All you have to do is click on the Scene On tab for more information. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio for now.
Fascinating stuff, Heather. Thank you. Coming up on Fox 5, Monopoly gets rid of an iconic game piece. We're checking in with Heather Lake.
It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's a drone. We are learning to fly this morning at a brand new drone testing facility. It's right here in San Diego. We're giving you a sneak peek inside.
Fox is learning how to fly this morning, sort of.
She's live at Kearney Mesa at an indoor drone testing facility. How cool is this, Heather?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so for people who are interested in flying, something like that, a drone, you can learn indoors without, making sure that people are getting hurt, or you're getting hurt, or you're breaking your really expensive piece of equipment. This place is really cool. It's all part of Coleman University, and if you're not a student, it doesn't matter. You can come here and test all of your equipment out right here at the Hornet's Nest. I've got council member Chris Kate with me, and you are good at this, okay? Because I haven't learned yet, but I'm guessing you got a little bit of practice. It's cool how it just hovers when you let go of it, though.
A little bit. It takes some maneuvering, hand-eye coordination, but it's a lot of fun.
This facility is in your district. Tell me what you think about this. Obviously, it's lending to not only a lot of careers, but a lot of people practicing in a safe environment.
Exactly. And we want to make sure that we are really fostering a new economic engine that we're going to have here in San Diego, which is unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, and we want to make sure people have the opportunity to coordinate and partner with other municipalities in the region, other companies, and test out the technologies in a very safe environment.
After you got your hands on one of these bad boys, did you think, all right, that's it, I'm going out and buying one to test out myself because it's pretty fun?
Absolutely. I don't know how the wife would feel about that, bringing something like this home, but no, it's a lot of fun, and I think having this type of facility here where folks who don't want to necessarily be out in public and try to hurt anybody can do it in a safe space, nets and everything.
If you're at a park, you don't want to be flying this around at the beach. You know, it's full of people. As you can see, sometimes can be a little finicky as it gets closer to our camera like that. The thing is that this is very attainable now for a lot of people. It's kind of like, you know, for cell phones, they've gotten now, everyone has the greatest of the technologies. This is a $300 one that we see in front of us. And then the one that we had flying over there just a little bit ago, but took a little crash before our segment, is $3,000. So you've got everywhere from the basic consumer who wants to learn to someone who's really into technology.
Exactly, and San Diego is a top destination, top spot for these types of emerging technologies to exist. And again, when we have folks who are developing these technologies, who are starting their own business around it, we have consumers here as well too. I mean, we want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to foster that growth, and Coleman's doing a great job in allowing for that with this facility.
Yeah, I want to talk to Dr. Jim really quick. Come on over here, Dr. Jim. Come on over here. He's the guy that came up with this place. What's really neat is not only can you fly a drone, but I was saying, well, can they bring us like coffee and donuts? And that's what people are doing. They're testing out how these drones can work, just like Amazon is doing.
You know, people have access to the technology. It's a homegrown kind of a thing. Didn't start out in any lab now, so you can buy one off the internet and have crazy ideas. We want to help you make sure those are safe ideas. We want to help make sure that you get proper etiquette and training to be part of a larger community here. And this is going to be the center of this kind of thing in San Diego. The Hornet's Nest and Envy are put together to do just that.
And it's going to be bigger. This facility is only growing. So this is kind of like the baby, and then it's going to move right next door. Isn't that right, Ron?
That's right. We're hoping that the larger building right next door becomes an unmanned system center.
Gosh, it's very futuristic. You know, like all of a sudden we're flying drones around in Dubai. Charlie Rebel, I don't know if you heard about this. There's like basically drones that are human helicopters.
Right.
So now you're like in this drone. I've been looking up everything drone this morning. Not that I would have ever done this before, but now that I'm here, I'm very interested. So I'm going to learn how to fly that little one right there with the bumpers coming up in the next hour so I don't hurt anybody.
Is it difficult?
It's the $300 one.
I've never done this before. Is it difficult?
It's like the councilman was saying.
Well, that's
it's
what
a
I was
lot of
asking the councilman.
coordination.
I said, Chris, is this hard to do? And you said it took you what, 10 minutes to figure out?
Yeah, not really that difficult. You'll be fine, Heather. You'll be fine. It's a lot of fun, and you should be able to spin it around, have the camera on yourself, all that. So
I'm more worried that we'll be sitting here and I'll just fly it right into our foreheads or something and bruise somebody before I leave here this morning. But I guess we'll find out.
That would be
Like
great
fun.
TV, huh?
Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Her getting hit in the forehead?
No.
No. Heather, thank you.
And good morning, I'm Heather Lake in Kearney Mesa. We're learning how to fly at a brand new drone testing facility. Hey, good morning. We are learning how to fly in Kearney Mesa indoors. Well, we're learning how to fly drones. Coming up, I'm going to take this one for a test flight. That's all coming up on Fox 5.
Time now to check in with Heather Lake. She is showing us how to fly one of those drones.
Yes, she's at a new indoor drone testing facility in Kearney Mesa. Heather, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so we're going to get this little bad boy up and running. This is so cool. So if you're into drones, Dan, we are showing you how to test not only some of the easiest drones, but then some of the most expensive drones as well. This one, definitely user-friendly. You are controlling this entire thing from an iPad, and I keep seeing it come close to our face and thinking I'm going to need to duck or something, but you're saying no. Very simple. How are you doing this?
You put your thumb on here, you tilt the iPad, and you watch the drone, and it goes towards you or away from you. It's really very easy.
So like a video game, and you're not even looking down, really.
Right, now we're going to take a self-portrait.
Oh. I want to see. Oh, okay, so then it can see us. Say hi. How cool is that? So is this something like if I take the controls, I won't break it?
You won't break it.
Okay, so we're going to switch. You're going to take that.
You're
Don't
gonna
break that. I won't break this.
Put your thumb on there and
Okay.
gently tilt it and watch the drone.
Oh,
You're a pro already. Good job.
he's going down. He's going down. He's coming to get you, Zach. Watch out. Photographer's like, watch out.
And if you take your thumb off the
Okay.
thing,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, now what?
now tilt it the other way. Gently.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I see.
Tilt it the other way.
Uh-oh.
Yay, live television.
Crash landing. So when that happens, do I need? Do I need to pay for anything that I broke? Okay.
That's our training drone.
Okay, it's a training drone. I like that. Because there's a fellow here. This was the $3,000 drone, and this morning he crashed it in here, and now he's got to pay only $20 for a part. But I was definitely concerned.
Rescue the drone.
Are you gonna rescue the drone? Okay, good. We'll make a rescue effort. I'm gonna walk out here and talk to guys. This is the Hornet's Nest, by the way. I need to tell you guys where we are. It's for people who are interested in drone testing. You can come into this cool military-looking facility, and thank you. Look at the service, and test out any kind of drone that you have. My friend Dr. Jim here is the guy. This is kind of your brainchild. You said let's create something for everyone to test all their toys.
Well, 12 years ago, there was still a large industrial presence with the big flying drones that Northrop Grumman and General Atomic have. There's a wonderful community resource here called AUVSI, and that chapter inspired me as a leader of that chapter 12 years ago to make a claim that we could have a community center that would support these kinds of activities. Well, here it is 12 years later, and a bunch of us took it on our backs and made a volunteer effort out of it. We've called that volunteer effort ENVI, if I may say so. ENVI. envy-us.org is our website.
But the important thing here is that you're getting folks together that are like-minded, very smart people. This guy over here, Dan, is an inventor, and I love talking to him about all of his inventions because he's made everything from something that can bring you a beer when you're sitting on the couch to a drone that's also a hat. And so, and solar powered. And that's what you guys are working on here is fun pieces of technology. You don't have to be a student at Coleman University, but that is where we are based, right here at Coleman. I mean, besides crashing the drone, it was my first time, and I'm saying the Shaw-Area will not too difficult to test one of these out, but I don't know if I would have felt very confident testing out the $3,000 one. So I'm good that the one that I tested was only $300 and very not easy to break.
Speaking of money,
Look at how cool this is, though.
Yeah, very cool. If you have a drone and you want to bring it in there, does it cost money to do that, or you just bring it in and you come?
It does not. Completely
free
extracurricular activity. Yeah, so it's like a sporting activity. Like this is like the football field for people who have drones. You don't have to pay to come just hang out and try it out. So, yeah.
Not many things are free in this world.
That is true. That is true.
Heather, I thought you did a great job.